What's up, guys? Average Enthusiast here. No crazy intros or anything like that. We're gonna get straight into this really quick tutorial here. But real quick, 1 second before I do, please, I'm really asking if you guys enjoy the content that you're seeing. Please like the video and consider subscribing to the channel. For us smaller channels, it helps way more than you can imagine. So I appreciate it. Again, if you like the video, if you like what I'm doing here, please subscribe to the channel. I greatly appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and get into the video real quick. This is just an awesome picture. I took this last night, or no, not last night, 2 nights ago. I went downtown on the river and took this photo. And this is not a HDR image because it's so dark outside. There was nothing to see, in the sky anyway. But this is a long shutter pano that was stitched together. So again, not exactly what we're looking at, but I just wanted you guys to see this picture. I think this picture is stunning myself. So let's go ahead and get into this. All right, here we go. So you can see that we've got all of our images here that we're using for this project here. Again, this is a long exposure HDR panoramic all-in-one edit. And the results, I love this type of photography. The results that you get from this, I think, are just stunning. So I was out on the at the location, and I only took these photos just for the purpose of showing you this tutorial. So we'll see how the photo comes out. I'm not going to go into crazy detail on how to edit it and things like that. You can edit it however you want to. But for the purposes of how to take the photos, so I set the tripod up. I start obviously all the way on the left, work your way around to the right. But I take 2 images. The first image is exposed for the foreground, in this case the water. I have a 10-stop ND filter over the lens, and you can see this is a 25-second exposure at f9. My ISO is at 50, and this is a 30mm lens. So I take 2 images before I rotate the tripod. I take the first one, again, exposing for the foreground and the water. I took this one at 25 seconds because I wanted the water to come out as flat and smooth as possible. And then I take another one without moving the tripod, without moving the camera. This is a 5-second exposure. All of the other settings are the same: ISO 50, 30mm, and f9. Once I've got both of the images that I want, then I rotate the camera, making sure to overlap the edge by at least 30%. And then I go back, I take another 25-second exposure, and then another 5-second exposure. And then I just work my way all the way around, doing the same thing, 25, 5. Again, your exposure times are going to vary based on what you're looking for. This is just what I found was going to look, best for this particular image. 25, 5, all the way down until I've completed the entire panoramic and got all of the images that I need. Okay, so now that you've got all of your photos inside Lightroom, or Photoshop or Affinity, they can all do this. You're going to choose the 2 images that you need to put in HDR. You're going to select them both. You're going to right click. You're going to go down to Photo Merge, HDR. I don't do any de-ghosting amount. I just leave it at none. I leave auto align. Don't check auto settings. You don't want to do that. I mean, you want to edit the image yourself, I would imagine. So just auto align. Everything else is just leave it where it's at and click on merge. And now you can see that our HDR image is in between the 2 images that we merged. I'm going to go ahead and do this for the rest of these images. I'm going to save you guys the time. I'm going to speed it up, and I'll be back in a sec. All right, so you can see that we started with 20 images. Now we're at 30. You take the 20 images, you combine them into HDR. That adds 1 extra image per photo. So now we're at 30. Now the next thing that you're going to want to do is find the photo that is going to be the focal point of your panorama. And in this case, it's going to be the dock. The dock should end up being in the dead center of this image. So I'm going to choose the HDR image of the dock, and this is the image that I'm going to edit. You can see there's 2 ways to tell that it's HDR. You can see these little icons down here. The rest of them only have 1. This is an HDR image. This is an HDR image. So that's an HDR image. Also, if you just hover over it, it'll tell you the name of the photo, and it added -HDR. So we're going to go choose this one. We're going to go into the develop mode, and I'm going to edit this image. Again, this is not, I'm not planning to use this for anything. This is solely for tutorial purposes. So I'm just going to do a quick edit for the video. And I, again, won't make you sit through that. You can edit them however you want to. I'll fast forward. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, I think that looks pretty good. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go back to our library view, and basically we're going to copy the edit settings from the photo that we just edited, and we're going to paste them on top of every other HDR image that we created. So to do that is very simple. You're just going to right click on the image that you want to copy from. You're going to go down to develop settings and copy settings. Okay, now I will say that when I'm editing these, I don't do any editing with masking, knowing that I'm going to be pasting settings. You can do that if you want to. Just when you paste the settings, just remove masking. But I will say if you do any editing, like say you mask out the sky, and then you edit the picture, you get the sky where you want it, and then you paste without masking, and then you just edit the next photo, and then you mask out the sky and you edit it. There's a very good chance that they're not going to be exactly the same. The mask is not going to be exactly the same. So you'll probably see, a difference between the two photos, maybe even a vertical line from where the sky is not the same. So to avoid that, I don't do any of the, masking editing on the individual photos. I save that until I've stitched the panorama together. So with that being said, we just select everything, we click copy. Now we go to our first HDR image. We're going to right click, we're going to go to develop settings, and we're going to hit paste settings. Boom, there we go. All right, now we're going to the next HDR, so on and so forth. Again, I will go ahead and fast forward through this. I'll get this done and pick up in a minute. Okay, so now we've got those settings pasted across all of our HDR images. You can go into a couple of them and check them out. Just make sure that they look okay, that there's nothing crazy with them. It typically, I didn't make very many edits, so it should be, they should all be pretty clean. I think they look great. Okay, so now we're going to select each of the images in the pano. Hold Control, click the next one all the way down until you get all the way through to the end with all of your images selected. There we go. And now you're going to just right click on any of them. You're going to go to Photo Merge and Panorama. So while this is working, there's three modes: spherical, cylindrical, and perspective. I have only got perspective to work on one image, and that was the very first image that that was up at the beginning of this video with the downtown Nashville skyline. Let's see if I click it. I don't know why. It's the only image that I ever got it to work on was the one that I showed you at the beginning of this video. I don't know why. I don't know the science behind it, but it is what it is. So you have spherical, and then you have cylindrical, and you just look at them and see which one you like better. Looking at this, I think that I like the spherical better, and the reason I say that is if you pay attention to the dock, which is, again, this is the focal point of my image. The sun's nice, the clouds are nice, the water looks great, but the main focal point of this image is the dock, and I'm going to edit it that way. But if you look at it in this mode, in cylindrical, it looks like it's a little stretched vertically compared to what it actually is. So if you go back to spherical, you can see, to me, it just looks a little bit more natural using spherical. So that's the one I'm going to go with. So you choose the one you want, and you just click on merge, and then you sit back and you wait. Take a little bit of time. All right, it's done. Let's take a look at it real quick. This is a huge file. 26,725 by 6,037 pixels. This is absolutely massive. Man, it's just, it looks, I absolutely love, I just love this type of photography. I mean, this is beautiful. This is so nice. So we're gonna crop this a little bit. There's no need to go over, all the way over here to the left. There's really nothing out there. And this bush with the wind blowing, again, 25 seconds is a very long exposure. So this bush right here is obviously going to be blurry due to that. So we'll crop this over here on this side. You can see we've got ghosts, the people walking on the sidewalk. Again, we don't need that. We'll crop this down. But I mean, this is incredible. The amount of detail that you get when you do this kind of photography. This is just beautiful, just beautiful. All right, so that's, I mean, that's the way that it works. You know, you there's not too much to it. You take the images, you make sure that the most important thing obviously is that you, when you're taking the photos, that your photos are coming out the way that you need them to make this work. Again, we took a long exposure to flatten out the water, exposed for the water in the foreground, and then we took a shorter exposure to get the detail in the sky. Um, and then we edited one photo. We copied those settings. We pasted them to the other HDR photos. Then we took the edited HDR photos and then we stitched them together. And this is where we're at. This is what we came up with. So now I'm just going to go ahead real quick. I'm going to do a real quick edit on this, get it to where I think it looks good. And I'll show you the final product and we'll be done. All right, guys, there we go. I'm just gonna leave it right here. Again, if this were, you know, something that I were planning to use or you know, develop or print or anything like that, then I'd have taken a lot more time, gone into a lot more uh, you know, fine tuning on the editing. But again, this was just for the purposes of this tutorial. Let's look at the before, man, and the after. This I'm a real quick. I am a huge underexposed truther, and by that, you know, I mean, obviously this picture is way underexposed, but it's so much easier to bring you know, detail back out of the shadows than it is out of the highlights. So I always, anytime I'm taking photos, I underexpose, because as you can see, I mean, I think this looks great. So yeah, that's the you know, that's where we'll leave it. I hope you guys got the information you were looking for out of this. I love this type of photography. It's fun. It's not super difficult, but it you know, if you've never done it before, it can be a little challenging, a little tricky. So again, I hope you guys you know, got value out of the video. And if, again, like I said in the beginning, if you like the stuff that I'm doing, please like the video and definitely consider subscribing to the channel. It helps me out more than you can imagine. So I appreciate you guys, and God bless.